Hello and welcome to Panther Sports Zone. I'm Dorian Waller.
And I'm Nigel White.
Today we start off with Prairie View's women's basketball team with an unfortunate loss. Missed shots and opportunities were the name of the game for the Panthers against Alcorn State, shooting a collective 28.6% from the field and a tough loss, 61-52. Both teams had a hard time shooting the basketball in the first half, and although the Panthers outshot the Braves 36-22, they only made 2 more baskets than their opponents. Things didn't get much better as PV had one of their worst quarters, scoring just 4 total points. The Panthers did make things interesting in the final quarter with a 29-point outburst, but it wasn't enough to stop a paltry shooting night from the team. Diana Rosenthal led both sides in points with 18, rebounds with 10, steals with 5. Guard Kennedy Paul was the only other Panther in double figures with 14. The Panthers are currently playing top-ranked Jackson State Tigers in the Baby Dome. The game began with the 5 p.m. tip-off.
The heartbreak continues on the men's side as they lost yet another close game this season. This time around to Alcorn State on the last-second half-court shot. The final score was 69-72. A close game throughout. Neither team led by more than 7 points in the first half, with 8 ties or lead changes in the contest. At one point in the second half, the Braves led by 11 points, but the Panthers chipped away that lead and tied it at 69 with just a few seconds remaining. A long-distance heave from half-court by Justin Thomas put the Panthers away in their 5th loss of the season in a one-possession game. Juwan Daniels led the way for the Panthers with a double-digit of 23 rebounds and 10 boards. Jeremiah Gambro and Douglas Williams both assisted in the loss with 18 and 15 points respectively. The men hope to bounce back against Jackson State at the William J. Nick Stadium tonight at 8 p.m. The game will also be played live on national television and ESPNU.
Moving on to baseball, another tournament, another 1-2 finish for the Panthers, falling on the first 2 days to Jackson State and Butler before winning against the Tigers on the 3rd and final day of the play. Taking on Jackson State Tigers on the opening day of the Jackson State. Up against Jackson State on the first day, the defense and pitching for the Panthers came into play, holding the Tigers to just 3 runs. Unfortunately, the high-powered offense of the Panthers didn't show up, scoring 2 runs to fall 3-2. The Panthers struck first in the contest off a Benjamin Yarba sac fly to center field that scored a run. The Tigers' offense came to life in the 5th, scoring 3 runs off 3 hits. A late run by the Panthers wasn't enough as JSU took the first game 3-2. The second day came against Butler, who had a similar 1-3 record. An even matchup through the first 6 innings, the Bulldogs added 8 runs across the 7th and 8th inning to increase their early advantage. The Panthers didn't score the rest of the way, falling 10-1. A rematch from the first day, the Panthers made sure not to let the Tigers have their way early on. Instead, the Panthers scored 2 runs in the 3rd off errors by JSU and scored 4 in the 4th thanks to a Trey Turner single that scored 2 and a Benjamin Yarba triple that brought in 2 more runs. Jackson State refused to lay down, scoring in the 5th, 6th, and 8th inning to make it a 6-3 game, but it wouldn't be enough as PV got their first win against Jackson State since 2012. The Panthers return to the Diamond tomorrow when they visit Texas A&M Corpus Christi for a 6:30 p.m. first pitch at Chapman Field in Corpus Christi. But we'll talk more about the Panthers sports after the break. When we come back, we'll hear from recreational sports here at PV and more from around the SWAC. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Panther Sports Zone. Continuing with today's show, the PV men and women's club basketball team continued their winning ways over the weekend to improve upon their undefeated starts. In the past 2 games, the men have outscored their opponents 159-56, including 98-22 thrashing of Lone Star College Montgomery. On the women's side of things, they also managed to win against Lone Star College Tomball to stay undefeated in 2022. Next up for the men's basketball club, they'll take on NAU this Thursday, March 3rd in the Rec Center at 7 p.m. Be sure to come out and support the team.
Continue with Rec Sports. The women's flag football team is looking for women interested in playing flag football. If you want to participate or have any questions, you can email at daniels@pvmu.edu, along with any previous experience you may have. The interest meeting will be held this Wednesday, March 2nd at 7 p.m. at the Student Recreation Center. How do you feel about the rise of esports being recognized just around the city, but in SWAT? Coming up next, we'll hear from one of the members of the PB volleyball team, Jakarta Hope. Stay tuned after the break. Joining us today, we have setter for the volleyball team, Jakarta Hope. Jakarta, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm just glad to be here.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. So I wanted to start off with a real simple question. When did you start playing volleyball?
I started playing volleyball when I was 8 years old. My older sisters, I grew up watching them a lot, so that's kind of how I got into volleyball.
Did you like watch them in their like high school games, or was it just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I know. As a person who's watched a lot of high school volleyball, it's really competitive. It's like a good atmosphere in there.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy watching the games.
Thank you.
Off-season officially began a few weeks ago. What are some of the things Coach Tyler is working on with the team?
So right now, Coach Tyler has us focusing on our individual positions. And so we started practicing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And Mondays and Wednesdays, we work on our individual skills. And then Friday, we kind of try to bring it all together and get that game-like experience.
I actually was planning to come to, talk to Coach Tyler, ask about some of the procedures that y'all have been doing this off season, get prepared for the next season.
Yeah.
What would you rate y'all's like y'all's progress so far out of 10? Like how would y'all say y'all is progressing?
I would say on a scale of 10, I feel like we're really just moving at a great pace, actually. I feel like all the information that the coaches are giving us, we're kind of like absorbing it as sponges and trying to apply it as best as we can. And so at a scale of 1 to 10, I feel like it's a 10, We all go out there and try our hardest, and that's all we can really do.
That's the right energy to have.
All right. So one of the things I read up on you is that you coach basketball. Is that correct?
Yes, I used to coach, little kids in basketball, like they weren't even over 10. So like at that age, they just want to go out there and have fun and just give all the effort they can, and that's something coaches can work with.
When did you start?
I would say probably my sophomore year in high school. I did it back at home in Killeen. So yeah.
You from Killeen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a little bit of a drive from over here.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things you want to improve on as a player? Just as an individual player, also as a team player. Volleyball is it's a team sport. Like I don't really know the position names off the top of my head, but like when one of y'all call out the serve, everybody just lets them go and get it. So I just want to know how you're improving as an individual player and a team player.
As an individual player, I would say I feel like I'm improving really in all aspects of my game. I feel like everything that Tacho tells me to do, I feel like I try to apply it while also keeping my game and how I like to play and trying to find a balance in between that. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good when it comes to that. When it comes to as a team, being a setter is like a leadership role, and that's really what I'm focusing on, is trying to be a better leader for my, for my teammates, and trying to lead by example and always giving 100, so that'll influence them to keep giving 100, and we could just move up from there. So.
Do you remember the first time you met Coach Tyler?
Yes, I do. It was on my official visit when I came, or when she, had me come and meet her and the staff. She was really straightforward. She's still, saying the same thing she said to me, to the incoming people. And my freshman year, I was a walk-on. So,
wow.
So Tacho, yeah, she really just told me, she was like, if you come in and you play hard, you can go get that full ride, you can do all that. And that's all really I needed to hear. Yeah. So like I went out there, tried to prove myself, and Tacho, she still sticks by me, and she believes in me as a player. And that's all really I can ask for from a coach. And so
how did you feel when you earned that scholarship here?
I definitely cried. Full ride, that's truly a blessing, and that's any college student, that's any student's really just dream. Like, you work that hard, that's something you're working towards and you want to have. So that was good for me.
So what was one of the deciding factors that made you choose PV over any other school?
Well, actually, my two older sisters, they graduated from Prairie View.
Really?
Yeah. So Prairie View was always a #1 for me. So when I was like trying to get recruited or trying to get seen, I was sending film out to all the SWAC schools, and Tacho was really the first one to reach out to me, and really the only school I was really looking forward to reaching back. So I feel like that was a really full circle moment for me.
I can really relate to that because as a student, I'm also kind of, I guess you could call it a second generation student, because my dad went here. Granted, it was like a long time. He's an old man. It's like 1978. But I'm also a second generation student, so I can relate to you. And PV was always for me as well, just somewhere that you really wanted to go. So how do you like the campus?
Oh, I love the campus. I know when I first got here, I just felt like this is somewhere that I could call home. This could be my home away from home. And I knew I would love everybody here, the people here. Everybody was so welcoming. And that's the type of energy I feel like that'll make anybody want to be, come into themselves and just be comfortable with who they are and all that good stuff. So
I've always wondered, as volleyball players, y'all are constantly diving on the ground, digging up loose balls. Do you ever have a problem learning how to dive for the ball when you're first playing? Like, did you ever struggle with that?
Yes, when I was first playing, when I would go for our ball, I'd literally just ball out, just go and try to get up as fast as I can. But when I started getting into the techniques of what the technicalities that volleyball has and stuff. I mean, I guess it got easier. I still just try to fall and get up, but I still try to implement the actual techniques that it comes with diving, and because diving hurts.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I had one final question. What are you looking forward to most next season?
Oh, I'm just looking forward to all of us just working hard, and all that hard work just being represented in the amount of wins we have. And just moving up from there, because the way we're moving right now, it's promising. So I'm excited for this next season for sure.
Well, that's very promising to hear. Well, I wanted to thank you for coming out. We had to kind of cut it a little bit short, but I really wanted to thank you, taking time out of your day and coming to talk with me and Nigel. So I appreciate that.
Oh, yes. Thank y'all for having me.
And well, that'll be all for today. Make sure to tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:30 for another Panther Sports Zone. Once again, I'm Dorian Waller.
I'm Nigel White.
And we're signing out.